What's up guys, Bryan here with Conscious Fitness. Today we're going to be talking about weight fluctuations when you're attempting to lose weight. So one of the biggest things I see all of my clients go through is a little bit of fear when they see the scale tick upwards. So let's just assume that you're doing everything right. You're in a calorie deficit, you're paying attention to your steps, you're doing strength training, you're measuring your food, you're keeping high protein in, you're doing all the things right. And unfortunately, you see the scale one day go up. So let's just take a starting point. Let's imagine you're starting at 160 pounds and you want to lose 10 pounds and go down to 150. So let's just assume that we're starting right here at 160. Now, let's just say you're doing everything right. You go, start working towards your goals. A week later, you weigh in and you're a little bit lower on the scale. Awesome, right? Everything's working. You're doing great. Now, this is what usually happens with pretty much everybody. You keep doing everything right. Next time you weigh in, you've gained weight. How did that happen? The first thing I want to tell you guys is that I've never seen anyone just lose weight in a linear fashion, just never upticking. Because the truth is our weight is going to fluctuate due to water weight. So again, there's never been a time where this isn't happening. Never just seeing every single time you weigh in just go down, down, down. It's just not happening. Our weight is going to naturally fluctuate just due to water balance. So depending on the amount of food that we eat, depending on how much waste we have in our body, depending on how much water we drink from one day to the next, or how much we sweat, there's a lot of factors involved. So what we need to do is expand this time horizon and not just worry about these little upticks. So what'll happen is if you continue working on this diet, and let's go ahead and just record point by point so we can see here. Let's just say again, you keep moving forward, doing everything right. You weigh in on the scale again, and you might be exactly where you were a week ago, right? And you might be thinking, this isn't really working. This isn't working fast enough. But again, we need to understand that your weight is going to fluctuate a couple pounds up and down naturally due to water weight. What'll happen is if you continue this path, you weigh in again, keep doing everything right, you're a bit lower. Now, it's not done yet because I'm telling you, you keep these things up. You might have a meal out at a restaurant, you get more sodium in, it might be a little bit extra food volume than you'd like. I've even seen this happen. You weigh in on the scale again and you come right back up. So this is the moment where a lot of people quit, seeing these upticks. But I gotta let you know, it's 100% normal. It's normal. What'll happen is if you continue doing this, eventually your body says, okay, I get it. This is where we're at as far as the amount of food coming in. I give up. I'm gonna release some of this extra water weight. And then all of a sudden, you find yourself down here. I see it all the time. There's a theory out there called the whoosh effect, where the theory goes, as you're losing fat from your cells are basically shrinking in size when you lose body fat. You're not getting rid of actual fat cells, but before they shrink, there's a possibility that they retain more water to retain their shape. So eventually, after giving it enough time, your body's finally like, okay, this is the situation. This is how many calories we're getting. This is how much energy we're absorbing. This is the reality. So they let the water go, and I've seen it so many times. You might wake up and you lose 2 to 4 pounds overnight, and you're now at this new state. Guess what happens after that? Your weight is probably gonna go back up to about here. Super normal. And the more you weigh in, that's why I have all my one-on-one clients weigh in on Mondays and Fridays. You're gonna see these natural fluctuations, and eventually you don't get afraid of them. It becomes normal. You realize it's nothing to worry about. It's completely natural. You're likely not gonna always see staying at the same spot or just going lower all the time. For example, you're never gonna see this ever. If you are, it needs to be studied, and a science lab needs to figure out what's going on with your metabolism, because that's not the case. And honestly, if you're in that position, you're probably starving and you're not eating any food at all and your weight is rapidly dropping and you're probably dehydrated. But assuming you're doing things relatively healthy, you're always going to see these natural upticks. So the main thing I want to share with you guys is that this is super normal, it's super natural. Don't let these little changes on the scale prevent you from sticking to your plan. You got to stick with it for the long term. Your body's not going to completely change overnight in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. You have to stick with it. Give it enough time for your body to adapt to what you're doing. So if you guys need any more help with this, just reach out to me. I'm free to answer any questions at all. And if you really do need some extra accountability and you do need a structured plan and someone to help you, especially if you are plant-based, just reach out for me. I'm always open to new coaching clients as well. So much love. I'm Bryan Bell with Conscious Fitness. Peace out.